On the deepest human level, as well as on more superficial levels, the human spirit understands what was just proclaimed in this gospel. It understands pouring out of love for the one loved, self-emptying. On a superficial level, for example, anyone who's a sports fan knows what it means that after an intense game, one of the players, win or lose, doesn't matter, one of the players will say, "We left it all on the field. We left it all on the court." Or, our tanks are empty. We emptied them. Gave it our all. We poured it out. And fans know, win or lose, and they appreciate what the love of the sport from these players, what it did in terms of the entertainment value. They poured it all out. Conversely, the fans know, don't we? And somebody starts showboating it. Last night in one of the games, the guy had a great dunk. Walks up in front of the camera and goes, and immediately the commentator says, "Get down the court. You ought to get down the court and play the game. You're not in this for yourself." On a much deeper, in fact, the deepest level of the human spirit, we know, we understand what was just told to us about how much Jesus loved us and poured out his life for us. In fact, we heard it in that second reading where it said, though he was in the form of God, Jesus did not regard equality with God something to be grasped. Rather, he emptied himself and took the form of a slave, being born in human likeness. It means that he did not stand up in heaven and go, "You poor people down there, hope you get it together sooner or later." Instead, he came down and took on our flesh and experienced everything we do, except sin, even to the point of humbling himself to accepting death and the cruel, torturous death on the cross, pouring himself out for us, for our salvation, on the human spirit level. We understand that, don't we? Poured out himself for us. And in his humanity of pouring out his life, we see best his divinity. The power of God's love for us that does not withdraw, but rather goes in. Jesus Christ, his humanity shows the fullness and the depth of God's love for us. He left it all on the cross. And isn't that what the measure of love is? The measure with which we are willing to pour out our lives for those we love. Isn't that the measure of love? That's what Jesus gave, all that he had. The reading goes on to say, because of that, God greatly exalted him. We're going to hold off for the celebration of the resurrection. Just know that in emptying, emptiness is not all we are left with. This is not the end of the story.